back tonight to show you guys how I make my favorite condiment in the whole house. This is probably I want to say the third or the fourth time that I've made it. I don't know if you've ever heard of Cowboy candy. It's basically candied peppers. But since I grow so many different kinds of peppers, I use sweet and spicy. Also, I make it into a relish, I guess you'd call it. So let's see if you can see that. It's chopped up. This is all I have left. I've gone through like 2 or 3 of these 32-ounce jars just by myself because my daughter doesn't eat them. Let's see if you can see that. See that? See how thick it is? This stuff is so good on burgers or hot dogs or really anything. You also can use the exact same recipe if you want and do like slices or rings. See how thick the gel? I'm trying a different camera angle instead of the one that's up here, so I'm hoping you guys can see more. But see how it's thick like a gel? And then, you see? Anyway, you just spoon it on everything. Cream, you can put it on, I haven't done it yet, personally, but you can put it on cream cheese, with crackers. I mean, literally anything you could possibly think of. It's so good. So, I'm gonna show you guys how I make it. It's super simple. The only problem is that it's, you know, the cutting of the peppers, which I use a food processor, but you still have to cut the stems off. So whatever. I have 3 bags, 3 gallon-sized bags of assorted sweet and spicy peppers. I don't know if you can see that. This is just, I have actually 8 bags, see? I have 8 of these bags, and this is just from the last harvest, like, I wanna say December. So that's what I'm using. If you don't grow your own peppers, the best substitute I can think of, depending on how spicy you like it, would be those, I don't know if you know those, I think they're called like stoplight peppers or something. They come in a bag like this by the bell peppers, and it's got little mini sweet peppers, red, yellow, orange, green, something like that. So I would get like 1 or 2 of those bags, and then like a pound of, you know, whatever spicy pepper you like, or multiple spicy peppers if you want to do it really, it doesn't matter. There's so much sugar in this shit, you really can't taste anything. Except for spicy, sweet, and vinegary. But yeah, so like a jalapeno, you could do some serrano if you like it really spicy, a habanero if you want, I don't know why, but if you want. Anyway, so first things first, I'm not gonna show the whole process of me cutting all this because it's like 2:15 in the morning here, and I'm watching Judge Judy. So, all right, so here you can see some of the peppers, right? I sharpened a pair of scissors. I use this, it's easier for me. I sharpened them and washed them, and literally all I do is basically, I hope you can see that, it's just 2 frozen, all right? Maybe 1 or 2, depending on the pepper. So like this size, I would just do, they're still a little frozen. All right? And then basically, just do this. Because like I said, you're gonna throw it all in the food processor, so it doesn't even make a difference. Anyway, so I'm gonna go through and do all 3 bags of this. And I don't de-seed them either. I like the seeds, I don't care, they don't bother me. I grow so many peppers that like I've forced myself to adjust to the spice because there's so many of them. Either that, they just go to waste. Yeah, so you can de-seed them also if you want. If not, just leave them in like I did and cut the stems off. And then I'll be back in just a second to show you how I do this. You can do this with fresh or frozen, it doesn't matter because you're gonna cook it anyway. All right, that should be good right there. Perfect, okay. All right, so 45 minutes later. No, I'm just kidding, it doesn't take that long. So here you go. That's basically what it looks like. Then you want to process them. So I'm not gonna record the whole processing, but I'll do the first one just so that you guys can get an idea, all right? This is my first time doing it with frozen, if I'm not mistaken. So I think what I'm gonna do is after I pulse them all, maybe I'll press them out and strain it a little bit. Or something, I'll figure it out by then. But I don't think it makes a difference. So, definitely don't want to turn it to like mush. So the next recipe I'm going to show you guys is how to make chili paste from scratch. So good. But the last time I made it in a 32-ounce jar. And I thought maybe because there was so much oil in it that, you know, it'd be fine. Whatever. It fucking molded in the fridge. I was so pissed. So this time I think I'm going to try. Number one, you can obviously can them and jar them, so, or make less, whatever. But this time I'm gonna try these IKEA molds that I bought for soap like 13 years ago and still haven't used them. And I'm gonna put the chili paste in these little squares, like an ice cube mold or something like that. And I'm gonna freeze it and then pop them out and see if I could put them in a Ziploc. And then because when I cook, I use about 2 spoonfuls. So I think it might be perfect in my head. I mean, we'll see. Anyway, this keeps in the fridge forever because it's loaded with vinegar and I also use citric acid. So here we go. Oh, it touched my face. You can use gloves too if you want. See that? Let me make sure it focuses properly. See the consistency of it? You want it to basically look like that. Isn't that pretty? This one has way more green than, you know, the last time. But I don't care. It all tastes the same. It's so much sugar and vinegar. Anyway, so this is perfect. And then you just want to dump that out. Right? And then the next batch. You know, it is spicy and you're blending up all these, you know, seeds and stuff. It's probably normal if you cough, you know, or whatever. When they go down the food process, the drain, and you grind up the thing, it burns your eyes and your nose, just so you know. All right, so I'm going to rest of this. Yeah, I'm gonna do the rest of this and then I will come back to you guys and show you where we go from next. This is all pretty easy after this. It's the, like I said, it's the cutting the stems off. Oh, before I forget, you know what this is great in if you're making like pot stickers or any type of like Asian-y food, and and you make like your dipping sauce with soy sauce and, you know, fish sauce or whatever you put in it, scallions. Put a couple tablespoons of this. It's so good. Okay, I'll be back in just a second. All right. Now it's all chopped up. This is a shit ton of peppers. You don't have to make such a big batch. But I'm just trying to get it all over with. So here is, let's see how much that is. If I had to guess, this looks like an 8-cup measuring cup, easily full, maybe even like rounded over. So that's about as much as I'm doing. Okay, so I've decided what I'm going to do is make this pour. I think what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take all of these and put them in this big pot and kind of like, is the word sweat it? I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna cook it on the stove for a little bit, so maybe some of this water, all the moisture, will come out of it a bit. And then I'm going to make the, what's it called? The sugar vinegar stuff in this pot. And then when it's boiling and then this pot is ready, I think I'm just gonna pour this into it instead of, you know, the other way. So, all right, let me show you how we make this part. First, it's 6 cups of sugar. Yeah, so. Oh, and the word I was looking for earlier is the garbage disposal. When you run the garbage disposal after this, put a washcloth over your face. I'm not even kidding, you're gonna cough so hard from all the seeds. Or shit ton. This makes a lot though, and it gives you a lot of extra syrup. That's what it is. Okay, if you're using fresh peppers, obviously don't make it into this small pot because that's too much. You're gonna have to just start it in the bigger pot. You don't wanna, you know, boiling sugar burns so bad. All right, 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. If you don't have apple cider, I'd imagine you could use white vinegar. I went across the street today and got this, and if they didn't have it, I was gonna use white vinegar. So 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. I don't really know what the difference is, to be honest with you. This and distilled. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of salt. One teaspoon of mustard seed. You could probably leave it. I don't really know why we would put this anyway. So, you don't have it, leave it out. And then it says 2 spoons of garlic. So I'm just gonna do 1. So really it'd be like 2 tablespoons. No, I said no. Yeah, so that's it right there. I'm going to get the camera and then I'll bring you to the stove and I'll show you how we finish this. You are gonna wanna obviously put this on the stove. You don't want to like boil it, you know, you want to bring it to like medium high-ish, but make sure you pay attention. Like I said, sugar gets hot as shit. It's like lava. I know this from experience. I burnt my hands so bad when I was younger. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna get the camera. I'll show you I'm gonna put these in the pot and I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll boil this and then I'll add it to here, and then I'll bring you back here to show you how I jar it. Yeah. Okay, you see how much water is in there? I don't know if you, yeah, you can see it. So I guess that's what I'm doing, is trying to like reduce it. You know, it's still kind of frozen too, so we'll see if that works. If not, then I'll strain it. I have a tea strainer thing. But you see how far down it cooks? If I had to guess, it'd be like 4 cups now, maybe 6 cups. And then I'm just cooking this at medium. So I'll show you guys in a minute as soon as I get this with less water. Okay, so if you're using frozen, this is what I did. Look at that. It's just gonna take me forever and it's late. I don't feel like dealing. So, you see that? And then maybe smush down a little bit. And then when you put it back to the hot pot, then it's gonna be a lot easier to get it to, you know, to dry out. Okay, so you actually do want to bring it to a boil, right? And then I just turned it down because I don't want it to burn or like overflow. You know what? I'm gonna take that off the stove because I don't fuck around with hot sugar ever again. When I was like in my early 20s, I put brown sugar in the microwave to thaw because it was hard and frozen, and I must have put like 1 or 2 minutes instead of 10 or 20 seconds. Anyway, when I grabbed the bag out of the microwave, it was like fucking lava and it melted my skin. Okay, this is shit. Okay, see the liquid pretty much gone? That's basically what you want it to look like. So I'm gonna pour this into here. I'm gonna turn the phone off for a second though, because I don't have a problem. And then I'll show you again. This cooked down so much, and then like when you look at it, it looks so gross, right? But what's gonna happen is like all these peppers are gonna soak up all this sugar, and they're gonna plump right back up, and it's gonna look really nice. I remember the first time I made it, I was like, ugh, this is so gross. And I threw it out. And then I had another one that I must have just left in the back of the fridge. Anyway, long story short, like 4 weeks later, it plumped up really nice. And I thought, oh shit, I guess that's... Okay, so here's boiling, yeah? So don't let the way it looks fool you, all right? But it did cook down a lot. And I have a feeling that it's only going to be like... I don't know, maybe a 32-ounce jar. If I get 2, that's cool, but we'll see. You don't pour it in just like this. You're gonna wanna strain it and then put it in. All right, so I'll be right back to show you. Okay, so I use citric acid, obviously because it preserves it, but it adds a nice brightness to like anything you cook. Like if you don't have lemon juice, you can add citric acid and it'll totally lighten things up. So good rule of thumb with citric acid is 1 teaspoon per like 32 ounces of liquid. Oops, shit. I think I'm lucky if I get 2 32-ounce jars. I think it's only gonna make 1. We'll see. But either way, I just wanted to make sure it had enough. So I did add that just now. I wanted to make sure you guys know. You can leave it out if you want. There's a lot of vinegar in here. I'm pretty sure it'll stay good in the fridge. But like I said, it brightens it up and it really adds a nice taste. Okay, see how gross it looks? Look. Hopefully you can see that better now. Steam. But you see, let's see if I can do this with one hand. See how nice and plump those are? Here's another one. Here's what the green ones are gonna look like. See that? Super thick. I love these, by the way, in case you didn't know. Oh, if you want to, you can put a can of crushed pineapple in here when you do this. So good. All right, let me put this on the tripod thing and then I'll show you how I can it. Okay, so really if you want, you could let this stuff cool completely before you do this, but you know, it's already 4 o'clock in the morning here, so I'm gonna just do it now. Okay, so it's not too bad. 165. That's not too bad. All right. Should be fine. Okay, so, but I am gonna put them on this towel because I think if this is cold and that's boiling, I don't want to shatter the jars. At least in my head, that's how it works. All right, you don't want to pour it in here because you don't want all the extra liquid in here. So you want to use like a slotted spoon and then fill your jars. If you have some sort of straining device, that would probably be a lot more efficient. Oh my God, it's gonna take me forever. Okay, there has to be a better way. All right, I'm gonna put this in here and then I'll come right back. Okay, it didn't shatter, all right. I did cheat though, and I used this, and then I kind of tipped it over. I'm actually surprised there was so much. I thought for sure it had cooked down to almost nothing. You do want them juicy, right? But you don't want them like too juicy, you know? So this looks about right. Let's see. So you see it already has liquid in there. But it's gonna soak all this shit up. So like you really will notice that you need more liquid. So, you know, push it down like this, right? And then you can ladle in. Okay. So, ladle in just a bit, right? Because when it soaks all that stuff up, you're gonna wanna make sure it has more in there, you know? Yeah, that should be good. Anyway, and keep this too. So like, I need to get one of those funnel ones. I don't know what they're called though for some reason. This is so good, by the way. It's like a vinegary, peppery. You can save this and put it in a squeezy bottle and like, you know, put it on chicken or whatever. So if you see this, I use it for loose leaf tea, but I also strain everything through this. So I'm gonna strain this so it's perfectly clear and then put it in a squeezy bottle. But so here you go. I'm pretty sure you can see that. Do you see how gross it looks? Right? It's totally gonna suck all this up. You won't see any of this. It's the weirdest thing, but it takes weeks if I'm not mistaken. Obviously you can eat it whenever you want, but you don't want it liquidy, you know? You want it thick like I showed you in the beginning. And I don't remember because it's been a while, but I wanna say it takes like 2 to 4 weeks, give or take. So keep it on the counter for a second. Obviously you don't wanna put this in the fridge when it's scorching hot. Also, if you jar things, you know, you can put it in your pressure cooker some way, but look it up first because I've never done it. Once these are room temp, I'm gonna put my lids on, and then let's see. And then I'm just gonna wash them because I hate anything sticky and gross. So put your lids on, right? Put them in the fridge and just leave them wherever you want. And then give me just a second and I'll strain this. Actually, I'll just do it with you right there. Okay, so here's a 4-cup measuring cup. Let me move this without spilling it. Ooh. Okay, 4-cup measuring. It's still a little hot, so. All right, that sucks. Okay. More quick. So, and you're gonna have to do like this, right? See? Because there's obviously flesh or, you know, whatever in here. You don't have to strain it either if you don't want, but see? But I prefer it clear. And then eventually too, oops, you're gonna have to add more to this. I'm pretty sure. I always end up having to. Because it soaks it all up and then it looks all like peppers sticking out of it. So, anyway, and then if you don't, save a little bit of this because like I said, you're gonna end up having to put it on top. And then, you know, you can throw it out if you want. You don't have to keep it. But it's vinegar, peppers, shit ton of sugar, garlic, some brightness from the citric acid, the mustard seeds. It's actually really good. So, okay, so that's it. Anyway, so see all the pulp in there? And then there you have it. Look nice and clear. I don't have to, you could probably make a, I don't know, salad dressing or something maybe with it. I haven't really thought about it too much. I usually just save it and then like when I make another batch, I'll just use that, but then I noticed that the batches were getting like they weren't as strong, you know, and then it was really thin because it had been diluted from all the moisture in the peppers, and then I stopped doing that. So I'll keep this just to like put on food. Or to top that off, you know. And then, but if you make pot stickers, I bet it's really good on that. You know, put some fish sauce, maybe some sweet chili sauce, whatever. Okay, so then I'll throw the rest away because that's it for me. I hoard food, that's my problem. It'll just sit in my fridge. All right. So I got these off Amazon. They're so cute. But sometimes the tops don't go in. Well, I wonder if it's too hot. You know what? Anyway, so you'll put this on, right? And then it's this cute squeezy bottle. So it's perfect, but you know what? It probably needs to cool. I didn't even think about that. That maybe is enough, but I'm not sure. So anyway, so I'll put all this stuff here to cool, and then I'll wash it all in the sink, obviously, before I put it in the fridge. Yeah. So anyway, there's this. Also, this is so good in ketchup. If you put it on like your meatloaf or something. Barbecue sauce. I've made barbecue sauce from scratch with it, and then also ketchup from scratch. But I've also done like grocery store ketchup and then just put this in it. And it is so fucking good. Yeah, my brain is fried. Sorry. So, okay, yeah, that's it. So try this and let me know what you think. Like I said, use any peppers you want. I do prefer more red. It's just more appealing for me. Red, orange. But that's what this batch was, so fuck it. It's all gonna taste the same, be sure. So much sugar in there. Yeah, all right, so if you try it, let me know. I'm telling you, this is like the best shit you will ever make. Let me know.